Haunting is what Superintendent Carter says drove him and his investigators for the past 5.5 years. He called this the most complex case he's ever seen.
Diener cites the, quote, public's bloodlust for information and, quote, the imminent danger of serious bodily injury or death. In keeping Richard Allen locked up away from the community he's called home for almost 20 years for his own good.
Quite frankly, I've never seen, after the charges are actually filed, an initial hearing has taken place. I've never seen a case where the evidence is sealed. That's a new concept to me.
Sure, it is unusual. We don't do it very often in all the cases that we handle here in Carroll County. We did it in this case because the investigation is still open. And while all cases are important, the nature of this case has some extra scrutiny with it. And so my office, felt it was important to seal those records.
Allen's My Case file does not list whether or not an attorney has made an appearance on his behalf.
Ramon Lagunas is an attorney in Indianapolis. He explains the next step in the Delphi double murder case is for the court to assign an experienced public defender.
Typically, they would look in Carroll County and find someone who is qualified, one of their public defenders. My understanding is that Carroll County contracts out their public defense work. And so they would need to find someone qualified enough to take a case on like this.
Allen is facing 2 counts of murder in connection with the murders of Abby Williams and Libby German in February of 2017. Ramon Laguna says it's not typical for a public defender to turn down a case, but it's a possibility.
If a public defender didn't feel qualified enough, or if the attorney didn't feel qualified enough to take on a case of this magnitude, certainly I don't think that the court would want to appoint someone who isn't comfortable taking it.
Besides who, another big question is where. Will this trial actually be held in Carroll County?
Certainly I think the defense may file a motion to change the venue or move it out of Carroll County, and probably will. I just don't know how effective that would be because this case is high profile in every county.
By law, the trial must take place in the state of Indiana. Allen was being held in the White County Jail and has since been transferred to a state facility due to safety reasons. In the letter, Allen also notes his wife abandoned their home for her personal safety.
Having the best criminal defense attorney on this, or an excellent criminal defense attorney representing him, it actually is in the interest of the state, because what you don't want is, first of all, someone who not to have their rights protected, and that can end up in having to redo this again.
In his own words, Allen ends the letter writing, quote, "I throw myself at the mercy of the court. Please provide me with whatever assistance you may. Thank you for your time in this most urgent matter."
He's locked up, but he's not necessarily staying quiet. He has apparently written a letter to the judge. Take a look, take a listen. In the cause listed above, I, Richard M. Allen, hereby throw myself at the mercy of the court. I am begging to be provided with legal assistance in a public defender or whatever help is available. At my initial hearing on October 28, 2022, I asked to find representation for myself. However, at the time I had no clue how expensive it would be just to talk to someone. I also did not realize what my wife and I's immediate financial situation was going to be. We have both been forced to immediately abandon employment, myself due to incarceration, and my wife for her personal safety. She has had to abandon our house for her own safety. What little reserve there is will fail to even maintain the original residence. Again, I throw myself at the mercy of the court. Please provide me whatever assistance you may. Thank you for your time in this most urgent matter. Sincerely, Richard M. Allen.
It's expensive, and it's expensive to be a lawyer.
Just to talk? He just wanted to talk.
The issue is that this happens so often. Nobody ever plans on getting charged with murder, and there's not like a pay schedule for people on how much a murder can cost. Now, a murder like this with two victims and the timing, any defense attorney is going to clock him pretty high. So it is a basic, like a punch to the gut. But I will commend him on actually sending the letter that was well written. It didn't provide any information to put, it did not add any information that would, be used against him. And he essentially said that he thought he was going to have the money and didn't. So the fact that he did it close in time, he's not trying to prolong the investigation or prolong the court hearing. He's really just trying to get representation. And according to the Sixth Amendment, he has the right for zealous and competent representation. So I don't see any problems with that. He's going to get a public defender.
Yeah, this is not an easy trial. In any case, it takes 5 years with all these suspicious characters circling around these two poor little girls, and that part of Indiana is not going to be easy. I'm going to skip you for just a second, Neem. I usually go to you second, but I'm going to go to Kirk, because Kirk at one point was a public defender before he went into private practice. Kirk, these are the kind of guys you used to get, huh?
Yeah, back in 2009 when I had that Jodi Arias file handed to me, I had no idea who she was. And I would say if I did, I would have ran away, grabbed my briefcase, and gone home.
We were talking about the Cancun issue, ma'am. You never told the detective about the Cancun issue, did you?
What Cancun issue?
Do you remember that we're talking about Travis Alexander? Let's start with that.
Yes, I remember that.
That's why we're here, because you killed him, right?
And there's a lot of public defenders in the Delphi area right now hiding under their desk, hoping they're not the person.
Do you get any choice? Can you say no? Like say, listen, can Billy or somebody else do this one? Are you allowed to do that if you're in the office?
Generally not really, especially not in the death penalty unit. Back in Maricopa County, I don't know how it works in the Delphi area, but if this could become a death penalty case, potentially, there could be a ton of other charges. And of course, these private attorneys aren't going to want to take it anyway, so they're going to quote really high. They're going to quote Nima Rahmani type rates just to avoid taking a case like this, because who wants everything that comes with it? I certainly wouldn't want everything that came with Miss Arias. That's why I would have ran.
I don't remember.
Were you crying when you were stabbing him?
I don't remember.
How about when you cut his throat? Were you crying then?
I don't know.
So there's going to be a lot of public defenders that are going to be hiding from this case because they don't want to do it. This is a high profile in the worst way. We've already heard the judge talk about videos of his family members being put up. Things like this can happen to attorneys. No one's going to want to touch this, but somewhere some public defender is going to draw the short straw.
Thoughts about this defendant from the prosecutor's side, right? Like, all right, what do you think you're dealing with here?
Look, it's a tough case, Vinny. Like you said, it took them 5 years to find him. There's clearly at least one other suspect. Now, I don't know if law enforcement is being genuine, right? They're holding that probable cause statement close to the vest. They want to keep it under seal. They say there's investigations ongoing. I don't know if there really are other suspects or they just want to not make it public in response to what the media is. But like Kirk said, when you have a judge who already can't handle the heat and has recused himself because it's too high profile of a case, imagine the defense attorneys, I'm going to say plural, who have to handle this likely capital case. You got your mandatory appeals. I mean, the entire world is watching. This is going to take all of your time. If you're a lawyer, it doesn't matter whether you're a prosecutor or a defense lawyer, handling a case like this.